Gene Hackman is a Hollywood enigma. He is a giant of American cinema. Hackman retired in 2004. He has shunned the limelight ever since. He does not give interviews. Yet his presence is felt in every frame of his films. His performances are etched in our memories. Hackman is an actor's actor. He's admired by his peers. Critics praise his talent. Audiences love his authenticity. He has 2 Academy Awards. He has 4 Golden Globes. These accolades only scratch the surface of his impact. Hackman's career spanned 5 decades. He played a wide range of roles. He excelled in every genre, from gritty crime thrillers to heartwarming sports dramas. Hackman brought an unmatched intensity and realism to each role. Gene Hackman's career is defined by intensity. He embodied every role he played. He disappeared into his characters. He was not afraid to explore the dark side of humanity. He made us confront our own flaws. He challenged us to see the world differently. He was a master of his craft. He could convey a world of emotion with a single look. His characters were often quiet. They were always powerful. He could command a scene without saying a word. Hackman's performances were never showy. They were always authentic. He let his work speak for itself. Gene Hackman's legacy extends beyond awards and accolades. It lies in the hearts of moviegoers. It lives on in the annals of film history. He is a legend. He is an icon. He is Gene Hackman. His name is synonymous with cinematic excellence. His work continues to resonate with audiences today. His films are rediscovered by new generations. His impact on cinema is immeasurable. He is a testament to the power of talent. Eugene Allen Hackman was born in San Bernardino, California in 1930. His childhood was tumultuous. His parents divorced when he was young. He moved frequently with his mother. He lived in various towns in the Midwest. Hackman's relationship with his father was strained. Eugene saw his father sporadically. He found a father figure in his maternal grandfather. His grandfather was a linotype operator for a newspaper. He instilled in young Gene a love of storytelling. Hackman was a restless youth. He dropped out of high school at 16. After his discharge from the Marines, Hackman returned to the Midwest. He drifted from job to job. He worked as a truck driver. He was a shoe salesman. He was a lifeguard. He felt lost. Hackman had always been drawn to the arts. He found solace in movies. He was captivated by the power of storytelling. He decided to pursue a career in acting. He enrolled in the Pasadena Playhouse in California. At the Pasadena Playhouse, Hackman studied acting. He honed his craft. Despite the setbacks, Hackman persevered. He was determined to prove his doubters wrong. He threw himself into his studies. He worked tirelessly to improve his craft. After graduating from the Pasadena Playhouse, Hackman moved to New York City. He hoped to make it on Broadway. He struggled to find work. He took odd jobs to make ends meet. Hackman began his acting career in off-Broadway productions. He appeared in summer stock. He did television commercials. Hackman's early years in New York City were a time of great struggle. He faced constant rejection. He doubted his abilities. He questioned his career choice, but he never gave up. Hackman's breakthrough role came in 1964. He was cast in the play Any Wednesday. His performance was a critical success. It earned him a Vernon Rice Award. It also caught the attention of Hollywood producers. Hackman made his film debut in 1961 with a small role in Mad Dog Coll. Gene Hackman's early career in Hollywood was marked by a series of supporting roles. He was often cast as the tough guy, the heavy, the antagonist. He brought a raw intensity to these roles, often stealing scenes from the lead actors. His performances were noticed by critics and audiences alike. In 1967, Hackman landed a pivotal role in Arthur Penn's Bonnie and Clyde. His portrayal of Buck Barrow, Clyde's hot-headed brother, was a revelation. This performance earned him his first Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor. Bonnie and Clyde was a critical and commercial success, and it catapulted Hackman into the spotlight. He was no longer just a reliable character actor, he was a rising star. Despite his newfound fame, Hackman remained grounded. He was selective about his roles, looking for characters that challenged him. In 1971, Gene Hackman cemented his status as a Hollywood heavyweight with his iconic performance as Jimmy "Popeye" Doyle in William Friedkin's gritty crime thriller The French Connection. The film, based on a true story, follows two New York City detectives, Popeye Doyle and Buddy Russo, as they try to bust a drug smuggling ring. Hackman's portrayal of Popeye Doyle was a tour de force. He embodied the character's obsessiveness, his determination, and his flaws. The French Connection was a critical and commercial triumph, winning 5 Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Actor for Hackman. Hackman's performance became legendary, cementing his place in cinematic history. The success of The French Connection made Hackman a bona fide movie star. He was in high demand, offered a wide range of roles. Following the success of The French Connection, Hackman actively sought roles that defied expectations. He was drawn to complex, often flawed characters, the anti-heroes that populated the gritty, morally ambiguous films of the 1970s. In Francis Ford Coppola's 1974 thriller The Conversation, Hackman delivered a haunting performance as Harry Cole, a paranoid surveillance expert who becomes increasingly unhinged as he believes he's uncovered a murder plot. Gone was the swagger and aggression of Popeye Doyle, replaced by a quiet intensity and palpable vulnerability. Hackman's choices during this period reflected his commitment to challenging himself and expanding his range. He was not interested in repeating himself or resting on his laurels. He wanted to explore the dark corners of the human psyche. He portrayed characters who were struggling with their own morality and identity. Section 4. Beyond the Badge: Versatility and Range. While Gene Hackman excelled at portraying characters on the edge, men grappling with inner demons and moral dilemmas, he was determined to avoid being pigeonholed. He actively sought roles that showcased his versatility, taking on comedies, westerns, and even a superhero franchise. He surprised audiences with his comedic timing in films like Young Frankenstein in 1974, where he played a hilarious blind hermit. He held his own against a young, charismatic Christopher Reeve in Richard Donner's Superman in 1978, bringing a sly wit and unexpected pathos to the role of Superman's arch-nemesis, Lex Luthor. Hackman's willingness to embrace diverse roles cemented his reputation as a complete actor. This versatility, coupled with his unwavering commitment to authenticity, made him one of the most respected and sought-after actors in Hollywood. Section 1. The undisputed heavyweight of Hollywood. By the 1980s, Gene Hackman was firmly established as one of the most respected actors of his generation. He was a 2-time Academy Award winner, a critical darling, and a box office draw. He had the clout to choose his roles carefully, opting for projects that intrigued him and challenged him. He wasn't afraid to take risks, appearing in films that ranged from big-budget blockbusters to smaller, character-driven dramas. Hackman's commitment to authenticity and his willingness to delve into the complexities of the human psyche continued to set him apart. He wasn't interested in playing it safe or chasing accolades. Despite his success, Hackman remained grounded and notoriously private. Section 2. A masterclass in minimalism, the conversation and beyond. In 1974, Gene Hackman delivered a masterclass in minimalist acting with his performance as Harry Cole in Francis Ford Coppola's The Conversation. Cole, a surveillance expert haunted by his work, was a departure from Hackman's usual intense roles. Hackman conveyed Cole's paranoia, guilt, and desperation with subtle brilliance. His performance was a study in restraint, relying on nuanced facial expressions and unspoken emotions. The conversation showcased Hackman's incredible range and ability to command the screen with quiet intensity. He wasn't reliant on explosive outbursts. He conveyed volumes with a flicker of his eyes or a shift in posture. This performance solidified his reputation as an actor of extraordinary depth and subtlety. In 1978, Gene Hackman took on a role that would introduce him to a new generation of filmgoers, portraying Lex Luthor, Superman's arch-nemesis, in Richard Donner's Superman the Movie. While some questioned the casting initially, believing Hackman's intensity might be at odds with the comic book world, he embraced the role with characteristic gusto, creating a memorable villain who was both menacing and surprisingly humorous. Hackman's Luthor wasn't a stereotypical one-dimensional villain. He was a brilliant criminal mastermind driven by ego and a desire for power. But he was also witty, charming, and strangely relatable in his disdain for the mundane. Hackman infused the character with a mischievous glint in his eye and a sardonic sense of humor, making him a delightful foil to Christopher Reeve's earnest Superman. His performance in Superman demonstrated Hackman's versatility and his willingness to embrace roles outside his comfort zone. He wasn't afraid to have fun with the character, and in doing so, he created one of the most iconic and enduring villains in cinematic history. Throughout the 1980s, Gene Hackman showcased his range in roles like Norman Dale in Hoosiers and Agent Rupert Anderson in Mississippi Burning. In Hoosiers, he played a high school basketball coach seeking redemption. His performance was both heartwarming and heartbreaking. In Mississippi Burning, Hackman earned an Academy Award nomination as Agent Rupert Anderson. He portrayed an FBI agent investigating civil rights murders in a racially charged atmosphere. Gene Hackman entered the 1990s with no signs of slowing down, continuing to deliver powerhouse performances in a string of critically acclaimed films. In 1992, he reunited with Clint Eastwood, who he had previously worked with on the 1980s thriller Tightrope for Unforgiven, a revisionist western that would become a modern classic. Hackman's portrayal of Little Bill Daggett, a ruthless sheriff determined to maintain order in his town, earned him his second Academy Award, this time for Best Supporting Actor. It was a chilling performance, devoid of vanity or sentimentality, capturing the brutality and moral ambiguity of the American West. Following Unforgiven, Hackman continued to work steadily, appearing in a diverse range of films, including Wolfgang Petersen's submarine thriller Crimson Tide in 1995. Where he clashed with Denzel Washington, and Tony Scott's action thriller Enemy of the State in 1998, where he played a former government operative drawn into a conspiracy. He also reunited with Clint Eastwood for the romantic thriller Absolute Power in 1997. Gene Hackman's influence on cinema extends far beyond his impressive filmography. He redefined the leading man in Hollywood, paving the way for actors who embraced a rawer, more nuanced approach. He inspired actors like Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, and Dustin Hoffman. De Niro called him the actor's actor. His performances in The French Connection, The Conversation, and Unforgiven are legendary. Hackman left an indelible mark on American cinema, valuing authenticity and raw emotional power. Despite achieving a level of fame and recognition that most actors can only dream of, Gene Hackman remained remarkably grounded throughout his career. He was notoriously private, shunning the Hollywood social scene and rarely giving interviews. He was more comfortable on a film set or disappearing into the pages of a good book than walking the red carpet. He once said, "I never wanted to be a celebrity. I just wanted to be a good actor." Hackman's aversion to fame stemmed from a deep-seated desire to protect his privacy and maintain a sense of normalcy in his life. He believed that too much exposure could erode an actor's mystique and make it difficult to disappear into roles convincingly. His commitment to his craft and his determination to avoid being typecast led him to make unconventional choices, often turning down high-profile projects in favor of smaller, more challenging roles. He was more interested in the work itself, in exploring the depths of human nature, than in chasing fame or fortune. Gene Hackman's retirement from acting in 2004, at the age of 74, left a void in Hollywood that has yet to be filled. His absence is felt most acutely by those who admired his raw talent, his unwavering commitment to his craft, and his ability to elevate any film he appeared in. Film critics and fans alike lament the lack of actors with his gravitas and range on screen today. He was a rare breed, capable of playing both heroes and villains with equal conviction, of conveying strength and vulnerability with a subtle shift in expression, and of commanding the screen with a quiet intensity that few could match. His absence is a reminder of a time when Hollywood was less concerned with creating marketable stars and more focused on showcasing the talents of actors who were willing to disappear into their roles. Hackman's legacy serves as a benchmark for aspiring actors, a reminder that true artistry lies in the pursuit of truth and the courage to explore the complexities of the human experience. Despite his self-imposed exile from Hollywood, Gene Hackman's legacy continues to loom large in the world of film. His performances remain as captivating and relevant today as they were decades ago, a testament to his enduring talent and the timeless nature of his work. His films are rediscovered by new generations of viewers who are drawn to his authenticity, his intensity, and his ability to create characters that feel both familiar and unforgettable. He left behind a body of work that is both a masterclass in acting and a reflection of his own unique perspective on life, love, and the human condition. Gene Hackman's legacy is a reminder that true artistry transcends generations. It's a legacy forged in intensity, honesty, and a deep respect for the craft of acting. It's a legacy that continues to inspire and influence filmmakers and actors today, ensuring that his contributions to cinema will be celebrated for years to come. Gene Hackman's journey is a testament to the transformative power of talent and perseverance. From his humble beginnings in the Midwest to the heights of Hollywood stardom, he remained true to himself, always seeking roles that challenged him and allowed him to explore the depths of the human experience. He never sought the limelight, preferring to let his work speak for itself. He was a master craftsman, dedicated to his art and fiercely protective of his privacy. He brought an unwavering intensity and authenticity to every role he inhabited, disappearing into characters that continue to resonate with audiences today. Hackman's ability to convey a wide range of emotions with minimal dialogue, a subtle shift in expression, or a piercing gaze set him apart as an actor of extraordinary depth and range. He could be charming, menacing, vulnerable, and terrifying, often within the same scene, holding the audience captive with his sheer magnetism. Gene Hackman's legacy is etched in celluloid, a collection of iconic performances that have left an indelible mark on cinematic history. From the gritty realism of The French Connection to the haunting paranoia of The Conversation, from the mischievous brilliance of Lex Luthor to the gruff compassion of Coach Norman Dale, Hackman created a tapestry of unforgettable characters that continue to captivate and inspire. He worked with some of the most renowned directors of his generation, collaborating with them to create films that pushed the boundaries of storytelling and challenged audiences to confront difficult truths about themselves and the world around them. He was a chameleon-like actor, disappearing into roles with such conviction that it was easy to forget you were watching a performance. Hackman's influence can be seen in the work of countless actors who followed in his footsteps, inspired by his authenticity, his intensity, and his willingness to embrace the complexities of human nature. He set a new standard for acting in Hollywood, one that valued truth over glamour, depth over superficiality, and the courage to explore the darker corners of the human psyche. In 2004, at the age of 74, Gene Hackman made the decision to retire from acting, riding off into the sunset on his own terms. He never offered a grand explanation for his departure, no farewell tour or nostalgic interviews. He simply walked away from the limelight, content to leave his legacy in the capable hands of his filmography. His absence from the screen is felt keenly by those who admired his work, a reminder that there are few actors working today with his range, his intensity, and his ability to command the screen with such quiet power. His retirement marked the end of an era in Hollywood, a time when actors were less concerned with branding and more focused on the craft of acting. While he may no longer grace the silver screen, Gene Hackman's presence continues to be felt in the annals of film history. His performances serve as a masterclass for aspiring actors, a reminder that true artistry lies in the pursuit of truth and the courage to explore the depths of the human experience.